Everyone, welcome to another edition of the Plant-Based Morning Show. It's Thursday, August 24th, and we got some fun stuff today. We'll chat a little bit in the intro here about Messi, who was vegan during the off season, they say, and just keeps winning things for Miami. So that's exciting. We got some good weather report and some fun articles to get into. Some interesting stats about the status of the plant-based movement. And also some interesting kind of maybe misunderstandings of vegans by media. So we'll get into that stuff. It's good stuff today. Adding Doug to Instagram now. We'll see what he's up to today. Here he comes. All right.
Hey,
how's it going there, Doug?
Matt. Oh, it's going great. It's Thursday, the best day of the week.
That's right. Last day of the week for the purposes of this show. And Thirsty Thursday for you. Are you going to be doing a Thirsty Thursday after your busy weekend, your thirsty weekend you had?
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to be back at it, I think. Yeah. Get some tacos, get some beers, go for go for a run, see the guys.
Yeah, good. You'll do that before you go out?
Yeah.
That's good.
Probably with the guys.
Yeah. Healthy habit first.
Yeah. Hey, I have some important news to report. I know everyone was very concerned after yesterday's episode that I forgot the first day of school gummies that I had promised my daughter in her lunch.
Yes.
Well, I didn't forget.
Oh, you didn't
forget they were in there.
Oh, okay.
All
you
clear.
Just forgot that you put them in.
Yeah, I just forgot I put them in there.
Okay.
In the chaos of the morning. But
Well,
I wrote an apology note to send with her.
Oh my gosh.
With Katie to pick up. I was just because I had played them up. I was like hyping them up all, and then I thought I had forgotten them, but I didn't. So it was all good. Everything is good.
Okay. Well, Erin listened to the episode yesterday, and she wanted me to give an update that Ellery began making her lunch in second grade. That's when she actually started the lunch making habit. She was going, I think she was going to some sort of homeschool futsal thing. I don't honestly remember the timeline, but anyway, she started then. Okay. So next year is when you could begin.
Next year, what final year of lunch making until the next one comes along?
Well, if you choose, I'm sure a lot of people keep on making their kids' lunches. No. But just
once they're
an option.
They're doing it themselves.
Yeah, right. No, it's good. Good for kids to do their own things.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that. And your computer rescued from the coffee spill you had.
I think we were all good.
Okay.
Yeah, we hit pause on the thing, and I was like dumping it upside down, trying to get every last drop out. But all good.
They're more resilient than they used to be. These devices, I think, they can handle stuff like that pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Good. All right. Well, I'm catching up on Discord. Bianca's talking about the IKEA meatballs, which I think you didn't really like very much yesterday. The new plant balls from IKEA. Well, you don't like IKEA food in general.
I've never had IKEA food. That's the problem.
Okay. Well, you kind of.
Oh, she went there. She took this picture. Did she go to IKEA yesterday? I make a trip to IKEA every couple years. Maybe she just
on my latest trip. I tried the new plant balls. Yeah, so maybe it's a little while ago. But she says they're so good, meatier than the veggie balls. So these are plant balls. So yesterday you were like, I don't get the big deal about IKEA food. You had never tried it?
No, I just no, yeah. I mean, why am I going to go to a furniture store and get food? It just makes no sense.
Okay. I mean, that's the whole point. People are saying how good this furniture store's food is, and you're saying, I don't see the big deal about it.
Yeah, no.
Without having tried it. Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
It's all right, cafeteria. Like, I don't know. But sure. Great. Awesome. IKEA. Love it.
Okay, good. Well, let's see. Messi, we keep talking about Messi, and I think we're okay. We're allowed to because he's supposedly vegan in the off season. That's always been the whispers about him. I've never confirmed that. You can't. You try, but you find people saying it's true, but who knows? But anyway, he keeps playing. I don't know how old he is now, 35 or something. And now that he's on Inter Miami, I don't think he's older than 35. I thought
he was like 40.
No, 36.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I read about people like that, and it just makes me feel so like
that they're considered like old.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I know. So he's his team anyway. Yesterday they're playing in the U.S. Open Cup, which is the United States Cup that any club of sufficient stature can enter. You don't have to be a professional or MLS club. You can enter. I don't know how you qualify, how you are good enough to be entered, but sort of a democratic thing. that anyone can get in. They're now in the semifinals of that, thanks to him. I'm surprised he's allowed to play in it. I thought you had to be on the roster at the start of the tournament to be eligible for the tournament, but apparently not.
They must skirt the rules for Messi. I mean, I think
I
anything he wants, he can.
Maybe they probably wouldn't do that. I don't know. Anyway, they're in the final of that now, which is really cool. However, the coach has come out and said Messi is getting tired. He's played in I don't know 10 games and 8 games since joining last month, and he's played 700 minutes in those 8 games. Seems like he's playing like twice a week most weeks, which is a lot. Usually they're once a week. And so they're saying he's really slowing down. Well, they're not saying that. They're saying there are signs that he's getting tired from all these minutes.
Okay.
And he's getting up there. He's not the youngest of players, even despite his vegan diet in the off season. He's still slowing down a little bit. And they're saying he may not even make his MLS debut, which yeah, because they haven't played. He's playing against plenty of MLS teams, but hasn't played an official MLS league game yet. He was supposed to play against Charlotte FC, but both of those teams made the quarterfinals of the previous tournament, so that game got delayed. Now he's supposed to play, I think, New York Red Bulls maybe this weekend, and they're kind of saying he might not play in that game, which means everyone who bought all those tickets, for big bucks, is now sweating or selling them for a discount because who knows if he's going to play. So I know
that's crazy.
Yeah, so it's hard to. It shows you the pitfalls of paying that much to see one player because
you just never know.
You never know.
So, but it's maybe even more so. You never know in soccer than in like basketball or football. Baseball, you never know. But like if you're going to see a pitcher or something like that.
Football you pretty much.
Yeah, but like if you really want to see the star quarterback that's coming out or something like that, then you can assume that he's going to play, right?
Right, unless he's got an injury that's people are looking at. But yeah, you're right. So anyway, there's your Messi update. I'm sure we'll talk about the final, whatever happens in the final of this tournament, and exciting. Still remains exciting.
It does
for MLS, American soccer in general. And some people apparently are saying these games are fixed. They're saying that the whole Inter Miami thing is a fix, and David Beckham, the owner, has said that's just a compliment to these players of how well things are doing. If every time they do something good, you're saying it was fixed.
Aren't all sports fixed? Isn't it all scripted? Like
yeah,
every single match.
Right, exactly. Okay, good. So, what else? Anything else, Doug, going on before we jump into vegan plant-based news?
Nope, don't think so.
No, nothing else going on. Okay, well, our first item is sort of something else going on. It's not really that plant-based of news. So, as soon as I find my bearings here, sound machine out of power.
Oh, the music some shade from Kate Rivercat.
Okay.
And yet he spends so much time not moving during the match.
Ooh. Well, yeah, I mean, it's true, but that's he's earned the right to not move that much. You don't want to wear him out. Trying to get back and play defense. Is that what he's known for? Is kind of just he walks around a whole lot, but it's not a bad thing. And I don't know how long he's done that, but for as long as I've been a soccer fan, he walks all the time. Doesn't get back on defense because that's not his job. And if he wastes his energy getting back on defense, that's less offense he can do. So I think it's sort of his job. But I remember when he signed this deal to come to the U.S., people were saying soccer fans here aren't going to get it. They're going to see him walking around and they're going to say, I mean, not sports fans aren't going to get it. They're going to see him walking around and say, that guy's out there is not hustling. Why is he getting paid all this money? Kelly Kay says her team, FC Cincinnati, played Miami last night in the Hunt Cup. That's the U.S. Open. And we only lost in penalties after 120 minutes of play. Yeah, right. Good. It's good. It's a good thing to do against a tough team like that. They keep beating everybody in penalties. They seem not to lose penalties. So there you go. There's your soccer. We good?
There it is.
No more soccer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. So no music for the weather report today.
I'm with you, Mr. Jeffrey.
Didn't charge a computer. Zava. I don't know what it is. I gave up on that show. I watched watched it for one season, and then I just couldn't stand it anymore. I couldn't stand.
It's so good.
Guy, what's that guy who just grunts all the time with that annoying
Roy
girlfriend?
Kent?
Yes, those two are the reason I just stopped watching. I said it's just too painful for me to watch that.
I love it. Love Ted Lasso. One of the best shows on TV right now.
I'd call it an overrated overrated show. A lot of TV shows are overrated. That one particularly overrated.
Agree to disagree.
Yep. All right.
No.
So anyway,
I'm not even going to agree to that. I'm just going to disagree with that.
Okay. All right. Here's the exciting stuff today. The Starbucks fall menu has kicked off today, Thursday, October 24th. It's not fall yet. It's still about a month away from fall, but they have to do that because Christmas comes in before Thanksgiving. Christmas blend comes out. And I don't think the Thanksgiving blend really comes with the fall menu. I think that only comes out for like a week or a couple days, and then it's gone. Because Thanksgiving's boring. People don't like it. But that's beside the point. So the pumpkin spice latte is live today. Not vegan still. People want it to be vegan, but it's not. But they got 2 new things this year. One of them is vegan as is. It's very similar to last year's vegan as is item, which is still available. This new one is the iced apple crisp oat milk shaken espresso. Last year, remember, Doug, they had the apple crisp oat milk macchiato, I think it's called.
Sounds right.
And that was a pretty good drink.
Right?
I got it a couple times. I had to get like half the pumps of whatever the sugary stuff is because it was just way too sweet the first time I got it. So yeah, I would get that again on a fall day. Not yet. It's I guess that's what the ice version's for. But like it's still 95 degrees outside in a lot of the country. But here's the thing: both their new drinks. There's that one, and there's this other iced pumpkin cream chai tea latte, which is not vegan. They're both served over ice by default, and that means, according to Morning Brew, that 3 out of 5 Starbucks fall drinks are intended to be cold instead of hot. 5 years ago, cold drinks were about half of all the company's beverage sales. Now they've jumped to 75%. So it's not just that they're
75% are cold drinks
of Starbucks drinks. Yeah, and I don't know about
Wow.
I think it's just over the whole year. So part of the interesting part of the story here is that they put this fall menu out so early when it's still hot that they have to put iced drinks in there. But the other interesting part is Starbucks is now more of an iced company than a hot drink company. So that's
fascinating.
Kind of weird.
I wouldn't have predicted that. I wonder if that's drinks, like number of drinks sold, or revenue from the drinks.
Mm-hmm. Well, it says
Because
beverage sales, so that probably means dollars, but I don't know.
Because I'm sure all these ice drinks are,
Yeah, that's
twice
a good point.
or more expensive than a cup of coffee.
Yeah, except you can get iced regular coffee, just like you could get
Sure,
iced coffee, and I think they're the same price. So I'm not sure, but that's a good point still. I think there's probably a whole lot of expensive ice drinks being ordered and balanced by some cheap hot coffee orders. I don't know.
Yeah. Interesting.
But it's weird. You associate a coffee shop with like coziness and hot and warm and all that. So to be an ice drink company is just a strange thing. I don't know. I don't like it.
I've never had a pumpkin spice latte.
No, I think I did back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
It was always okay.
None of these drinks are appealing to me. Honestly, like I don't want anything that sweet. I don't want to drink anything that sweet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand.
I think it'll just make my belly hurt.
Yeah. So anyway, that's it's cool that is happening because that was one of the big topics in the early days of the show, and we've hit the year mark now. So we're having, and in fact, later on in this weather report, we've got another year anniversary coming up. Okay, a couple stats. This is not the big stat article, which we'll get to later. Just a small thing. But the sales of plant-based milks in Europe surged by 49% between 2020 and 2022, according to a new study by the University of Hohenheim. Germany was the leader with sales up 62% in that period. France, Spain, Italy were 30%, 25%, and 20% respectively. And Poland sales just increased 10%. The big caveat here from Rebecca Hansen of the University of Hohenheim said the sample can only be considered representative to a limited extent because it was only people who already consumed plant-based dairy products or were toying with the idea that were included in this study. So people who weren't interested at all were not even considered in this. So this jump is in people who were already drinking them or interested. Among those people,
now they're just drinking way more?
They're drinking a whole lot more, yeah.
Huh.
So I think that if you assume just sort of half the people aren't interested at all or aren't there, then you probably cut these figures in half to get the real number. I don't know, unless a bunch of people who weren't interested have started. So it's an odd study that they would do it that way.
They would limit it that way.
It just seems to make the whole thing sort of invalidated, but whatever, worth reporting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's our other anniversary, Hart House, Doug, our favorite, maybe our favorite plant-based quick service restaurant. What is
that neither of those have been to.
yeah? What is quick service? That means fast casual, or is that different?
Yeah, probably fast cash.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they are celebrating their year anniversary. I like Hart House now. At first, I didn't. I thought Kevin Hart was money grabbing, and I still don't like how he puts heart puns in all of his things. So it's weird. And in this case, I think it's coming back to bite him a little bit, and I'll get to why. In just 12 months, they've expanded to 4 locations across Southern California. I know they've got bigger plans than that. I think they're looking like 20 locations soon, and they have a food truck. To celebrate, 2 of the SoCal locations invite customers to, quote, party with Hart. And there's a graphic they made for this thing for social media. It says party with HART. So if I see that thing, I'm thinking, okay, Kevin Hart's going to be at the Hollywood and University Park South locations on August 25th from 6 to 8 p.m. Well, he can't be in 2 places at once. Maybe he can go to one and then hop over to the other. And it says where guests will enjoy swag giveaways, games, and live music. No mention of him actually being there. But if you see this thing, this is where putting your name as a pun in all these things gets you in trouble, because now they're saying party with Hart, and he's not going to be there, and people are going to get mad.
That's true. I would assume that he would be there.
Yeah? You think he would?
Yeah. No, I would have if I just read, party with Hart at the Hart House.
Right. Definitely. You might not even get that that's a pun, meaning like a party with Hart, like have your whole heart in the party.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Huh. Well, congratulations on them for making a year and the expansion. That must mean that it's working out all right.
Yeah.
I'm excited to try it someday.
Yeah, I'd like to try them too. In this article, some person, operations or CEO or somebody said, in Hollywood, people can afford $18 burgers or whatever. They said, but our price point on our chicken and burgers, chick apostrophe N and whatever, burger apostrophe R's, is like $5, $6, and $7, not 12, 13, 14. Like I guess some places are doing. So yeah, so they're trying to keep this low price, and that's a good thing. So that's why I don't know. I just think it seems like a good vibe in this Hart House. So I'd like to get to one at some point. Try it out. And finally, speaking of vibes that I am not as big a fan of, Target in Metro Atlanta, 12 different stores are now carrying Slutty strips, vegan bacon, and slut dust seasoning. So now if you have a family and you want to walk around and just have your kids not see the word slut on things, now you have to watch out when you're in Target. These, of course, are Slutty Vegan products. Slutty Vegan is an Atlanta-based place that has expanded beyond that now. Vegan restaurant. They serve, I think it's Beyond Burgers. I'm not sure, but they do them in, all kinds of good sauces and things. Pinky Cole is the entrepreneur, founder behind them. She's doing a bunch of other stuff, and she's kind of blowing up right now. I think she's becoming a superstar. If I had to put my money on something, I'd say she's like, I don't know, the new, maybe not the new, but the other Target person. What's her name? The person you said was a TikTok person. Chef
Tabitha.
Yeah, Tabitha Brown. Yeah, she's world-class superstar now. I think Pinky Cole's headed that direction. But it's interesting, this slutty thing. I mean, I don't know. Like that's going to prevent her from reaching that level, I think.
I don't know. I mean, so far so good. She's in Target. The right people will.
Yeah, right. The right people will. Are there enough people who, like everyone on the show has said, I don't like the slutty branding. I wouldn't probably take my kids to
that's not true. Not that.
A lot of them have objected to the branding. They said, I don't know if I can bring my family to that as much as I might want to go try it. And I said I wouldn't let me. It wouldn't prevent me, but I just would be a little bit not that eager. So I don't know. I don't know about the mainstream market, how big that is for the sluts.
Maybe they're not going after the kids, going after the
right. Maybe not.
20
maybe not. And maybe that's who shops at Target. I kind of figured Target was more of a, I don't know, aimed at families, but I don't know.
Maybe it's the soccer moms just want to do something a little bit edgy, introduce a little slut dust into their into their cooking.
What is slut dust? I mean, what kind of name is that? Even? It's not. If it was fairies and you named your seasoning fairy dust, then I get it. Or pixies, this is pixie dust. But slut dust, that's not even a thing in real life. I don't think. It's just. I don't know. I don't understand that. I'm glad she's succeeding. I don't mind that. It's fine. But I don't know.
Mr. Jeffries says that him and Bianca have both said that they like the branding.
Oh, have they? Okay. Well, they don't have kids, right? I don't think.
Yeah, they don't have kids. That's right. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. All right. Why is Dale Stevens saying Doug what in all caps?
Because I said I never had a pumpkin spice latte.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, if you've been vegan for the past, it's only been around 20 years. So if you've been vegan for, I don't know, 15, you would have had to hurry up and get one at the beginning.
I've only been vegan for, I think, 9 years. When did I move? 9-ish years, something like that. 9, 10, somewhere around there.
Yeah. I'm surprised I've had as many pumpkin spice lattes as I remember having. I must have had a whole bunch during those 5 years I wasn't vegan that they were around.
Sarah Slimp says that her kids give her such a hard time for buying bitchin' sauce. Can't imagine if I brought home slut dust. I mean, I can picture. That'd be so funny. Like, hey kid, pass me some of that slut dust.
Yeah, right. Just put some of the slut dust on there; it'll be better.
Mom, there's not enough slut dust
exactly.
broccoli.
Like, I don't want that happening in my house. Even if the kids understand it, I don't want.
I think it's funny. I think it's funny. I like it. I mean, they're obviously not going after us, which is
you're right.
Great,
and they're doing fine. They're doing totally fine, obviously, without the support of
they're
families like ours.
They're not doing totally fine. They're thriving.
Right, killing it. So
good. Who are we to say?
Another way to spread vegan message. So I'm okay with that. I'm not saying I wish this wasn't happening. I'm glad it is. Okay, good. There's your weather report. No music today. Sorry about that. I'll plug the computer in for get it charged by next Tuesday. Well, we already even had music. It's already done.
Oh, Matt.
Okay. So we got a couple things to talk about today. None of them like giant articles, but kind of interesting. First one, I guess let's do the stats first.
Yeah.
And I think stats are kind of boring. I try not to always put them in the weather report. This one though is just sort of a big time, very clear, very simple survey. Mm-hmm. I don't know what kind of biases get introduced. This is from Gallup, who is a they're pollsters, right? They do this.
Yeah. I mean, Gallup is a reputable company for polls. It's not like Veg News is doing a poll. Nothing wrong with Veg News. Not saying
like Next Level Burger doing a poll that determines they're disrupting they're displacing meat consumption with their food. No, this is Gallup.
I'm going to throw this up on the screen so that people can see.
Okay, good. So the big headline, and it literally is the big headline, in the U.S., 4% identify as vegetarian, 1% as vegan. These are really low numbers. So I was trying to think what type of biases are here in this poll, and I don't know any information about who they surveyed. But again, I think they're trying to get, unlike the one we just talked about, they're trying to get very representative, data here. So I would have thought 10% vegetarian, 5% vegan. That's the numbers that I'm used to hearing. So this is a fifth or between a fifth and a half of that. Very low. They say these figures are similar to what Gallup has measured previously, including in 2012 and 2018. So I saw that and thought, well, that hasn't changed that much. But then if you look at the graph, which I think you now put up there, the vegan number has plummeted.
It's not anywhere close.
No, it went from 2 in 2012 to 3. This is percent of population, U.S. population. A third of that now, 5 years later in 2023. And I don't know how much rounding is happening here, because if it was 3.4 and 1.6, that's only about a halving. But still, that's a really bad thing for us to have a third as many vegans now as we did 5 years ago. The pandemic happened in between now and then, so that could have influenced things, in a different way, or in a way outside of, pure like or don't like vegetarian products or Beyond Meats or whatever. But still, the result is a third as many vegans, and it's not a good thing.
Well, and that between 2018 and 2023 was what I would call the vegan heyday, where everyone was going vegan or talking about it.
What year?
Between 2018 and 2023, I would have expected a climb, even though it feels like it's on decline at the moment. From 2018, I mean, it seems like
I would have, and that's like when the Impossible Whopper kind of hit, was around 2018.
The Impossible Whopper, what's the Game Changers movie, like all the stuff that just kind of
plant-based athlete book smash.
Exactly, plant-based athlete book. It just seems like it became around 2020, 2019, 2020. It became it was part of everyone's psyche, and
right.
So I don't know. This is surprising me.
Yeah. So I wish I had more years in here, because I'd really like to see what happened in between 2018 and 2023. Did it get higher than this, and then has some come crashing down in the big backlash that has begun happening from our perception anyway? So I don't know. There's more interesting stuff though. It's not just about the total number. They broke it down into a lot of different.
Hold on.
What do you got?
One final thing. I think there's 330-ish million Americans, right?
Something like that.
So 1% is what? 3.3 million people.
Yeah.
That's not very many people.
That's really not that many at all. I feel like I can imagine 3 million people. If a million is 1,000 thousands.
Yeah.
I can kind of picture those blocks of people. That's not that many people.
It's not that many people. So that's discouraging.
Yeah. Again, though, you don't have to be vegan to be making an impact here. I'd like to see this in flexitarian or reduced meat poll data. Because if that number's climbing, and I don't know if it is, but I bet it is.
I mean, vegetarian's declining, though. I mean, vegetarian, flexitarian, kind of the same thing. I mean, not quite, but.
That's true. That's a good point. Vegetarian is declining. And they said the earliest readings were in 1999 and 2001 when you and I, Doug, were in college. No, you were in high school. I was in college. 6% of people identified as vegetarian back then. And it's possible that the vegan kind of cannibalized some of the vegetarian numbers, right? Because maybe vegan wasn't that much of a thing in those days. I didn't know about it or didn't, ever hear about it. So maybe that took away some of the pure vegetarians because only a tiny amount of people, 1% said they were both vegetarian and vegan. I don't actually understand this because we have 1% of US adults saying, yes, they're vegan. There's 1% also who say they are both vegetarian and vegan. Is that the same 1%? I don't think so. Because they said usually most vegans and vegetarians identify as one or the other. So maybe that means there's also I don't know. Maybe there's another percent in there. We don't know. But
I think on diet, you'd only be able to select one.
You would think so. That's silly. One includes the other.
So Gallup.
Right. Really, that is bad polling, in my opinion. Okay, so they did break it down in a way I haven't seen done before. They did it across political ideology: liberal, moderate, conservative. Liberal had 9% of liberals are vegetarian. This is just vegetarian, not vegan. I don't see the vegan numbers for those. And 3% of moderates and 3% of conservatives are that. So about a third as many moderates and conservatives as liberals, assuming those numbers are all equal. So anyway, that's not really that surprising, I guess. Thought maybe it'd be a little even more extreme difference there between liberal and conservative, just because it seems like people are so polar. What would be the word? Are the people polarized?
No, I feel like there's a faction of conservatives that are also whole food plant-based.
Yeah?
Yeah, I feel like that's true.
I don't know. Like because of the forks over knives effect?
Yeah. Older people? The health stuff, yeah.
Yeah, that might be right. Okay, then they did income, and this one's surprising. The upper income, $100,000 or more annual household income, that's 3%. $40,000 to $100,000 is 4%, and lower income, less than $40,000 per year annual household income, is 7% vegetarian. A lot of times, the vegan diet, at least, is criticized for being exclusive because it's too expensive and just not affordable for someone with a lower income. But in this case, or here, they're showing that as different. So I don't know. This is vegetarian, not vegan. That could partly explain it. Somehow, when I imagine a vegetarian, I just picture someone eating more actually healthy food, lentils and beans. And when I think vegan, I start thinking of somebody, buying all the plant-based products. But that could just be my own, thing. So I don't know. No real explanation there, other than maybe these lower income people have realized that it actually is cheaper if you just eat, that it can be cheaper to eat vegetarian or vegan, and they're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I found this one really interesting because the narrative has always been that vegetarian, vegan is more expensive.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't quite explain this one.
Well, you don't have to. Not your job. We're just reporting. All right, we'll move on here.
But I am a plant-based pundit. I should have at least some sort of theory.
That's
right?
true. You should. You should have some take. Even if you don't understand it at all, you should have some kind of opinion. Yeah. All right. 2% of men in the U.S. are vegetarian. 6% of women, so 3 times as many women as men by percentage. Not really surprising. That's about the numbers that I probably would have said. And then here's kind of what you were saying, Doug. You got a little bit higher at the edges of the age brackets. 18 to 29, the youngest group is 5%. 65 plus is 5%. In the middle of all that, you get 4%. So, and that's not surprising either. I probably would have guessed something like that as well. Race, ethnicity, non-Hispanic white people is 4%. People of color, 5%. Don't think that's really surprising, but I don't know. And education, a lot of postgraduates, 5%. College graduates, only 3%. Some college, 4%. High school or less, 5%. So again, the edges rather than the middle are what's bigger there. So there you go. They give a little bottom line, which talks more about how many people have like tried products. In 2019, they said half of Americans were familiar with plant-based meat substitute food products. 4 in 10 had tried them. And that's probably a lot higher now, post-pandemic. Health and environmental reasons are the reasons for. So, but anyway, the rest is kind of normal. But anyway, I thought it was interesting stuff. I liked that clarity of data. Very simple. And the question, by the way, that they asked for that was, in terms of your eating preferences, do you consider yourself to be a vegetarian or not? And then, do you consider yourself to be vegan or not? So that's all they asked. They didn't nothing to complicate things.
Yeah.
So good, simple data, and therefore probably kind of true. Be my guess.
Yes, but also a little depressing. I'm like, this is discouraging to me.
Yeah.
How are we going to become the #1 morning show in America when only 1% of the people listening to this are plant-based, huh?
Right. Or when we only do 3 episodes a week and we take off like 2 weeks at a time. So you can go to the lake and I can do whatever I did during that time.
Exactly. Just
right. So all these things working against us, all these factors, not on the
Do you know
side
what's
of
not
the
working
nation.
against us?
What?
The 20 people who show up every single day.
Yeah, no,
and
you're
watch
right.
us live.
Totally. They're absolutely not.
Thank you to those people.
Yeah, really. It is always nice to depend on that group showing up. That faction showing up. Okay. What do you want to do next, Doug? Let's all right, let's quickly hit the beats. This is just a fun one. And then we'll get all 3 of these. Yeah, so this is this, I guess, can you put this one up too?
Yeah,
so you can just see it.
That
okay, I saw the headline for this, and it said, "Forget meat, barbecued beets are all you need at a vegan cookout." So I had to click on that. It's from tastingtable.com. So I thought this is not just some, biased thing or whatever. It just seems like a real food site. So I thought that's interesting. Barbecue beets. Never heard of that. Wouldn't really think of that as cookout food. But then the first paragraph shows that they don't really understand at all. So I'm just going to read it. Vegans and cookouts don't mesh well. Vegans who have sworn off the consumption of any and all animal-derived foods are held witness to the grilling, smoking, and barbecuing of the very animal meats they've chosen to give up. So that's an interesting thing to begin with, right? Who would have thought that that's going on? Though it is a personal choice, and there's no vegan police or higher religious power keeping them from enjoying said foods.
I would argue that's not so true.
there is the vegan police for sure. It's just weird. It's just a weird line anyway. Like what? But okay, anyway. Even though that there's a bit of FOMO happening on the side of the vegans. After all, it's the communal act of sitting down at a backyard table, park bench, or picnic blanket with a plate of food and good conversation that brings people to cookouts, not just the meats. So they're just, I guess, assuming that vegans have this huge fear of missing out.
Yeah. At barbecues.
Yeah. I mean, I guess. I don't know. I've never really felt that way. Like usually I would just go and yes, there is the grill going on and there's animals being grilled and smoked and barbecued there, but you just kind of accept that that's happening. And I don't have too much FOMO. And even if I didn't go, I don't know, if I had FOMO, I would just go. So I'm not really sure. I don't really know.
It's so funny to me.
It doesn't sound like a vegan
it's like just being around the grill just makes me feel like I'm missing out on something,
Right.
And as if people haven't been grilling vegetables for years. I mean, generations, right? I mean, like as long as there have been grills, people have been putting vegetables on it.
Right. And then they're acting as if so far, as if these Beyond Impossible and veggie burgers in general and veggie hot dogs, which have been around since like probably the 80s, they're acting like that doesn't exist, right? Because plenty of people bring those things, throw them on there. I know there's cross-contamination sometimes, but they put them on there and they have their own thing and no FOMO. They feel like they're part of the thing. They just have to witness maybe a little bit of grilling, smoking, barbecuing of the very animal meats that they've chosen to give up. But not a big deal. Anyway, Fortunately, when it comes to cookouts, vegans have an answer. And no, it's not fake meat, even though I think for most people it is. Like it almost certainly is.
Yeah, that is definitely the answer. No, but they've got a better answer. One that,
Right.
just like, whoa, how come nobody thought about that before?
It's much simpler, and it brings vegans back to the basics, to the days before the existence of the Beyond Impossible or any of the other abstractly named alternative burgers that dominate the markets. It's Beets, the very ingredient that's extracted for use in meat alternatives to give them their reddish meat-like color. So there you have it. It is Beets. I'm not opposed to this idea that we could eat real vegetables instead of the fake meats. You mentioned yesterday the grilling of portobello caps, making that your burger. That would work just fine. I just don't really think this is what most people want when they go to a cookout, and especially not Beets. The portobello mushroom is one thing.
If you were feeling FOMO about being at a barbecue and watching people eat juicy burgers, and someone served you up a burger that was literally just a slice of beet, like there is no way that would reduce your that would make you feel better about what your decision.
Right? No, and that would that would invite all kinds of jokes and stuff that would make you feel uncomfortable. And
you'd have beet juice going everywhere, and like your hands would be gross, and it wouldn't taste that good. And chances of getting that beet to like be evenly cooked and cooked properly on a grill when someone's grilling burgers right next to it, like there's just no way that's going to work out. It's going to be either too hard or too soft and charred. No, this is a terrible idea. Whoever wrote whoever came up with this.
This is a terrible idea.
needs to go back. I mean, maybe it was ChatGPT. It probably was ChatGPT.
Yeah, it's possible. I wouldn't be that surprised if it was ChatGPT by the making up of stuff, right? Yeah, right. The made up FOMO, yeah, I was thinking just not a vegan, but maybe not a human wrote this.
Yeah.
It's really possible. And then they recommend that you put this with your go-to vegan cheese. So you're getting away from the high-tech fake stuff, but you might as well just put a little cheese in there to make it sort of good.
Cheesy beet burger? No, come on, give me a break. As Rivercat points out, grilled beets are good. Grilled beets are delicious.
Sure.
I love grilled beets and roasted beets. Beets, I mean, are a top tier food in my opinion. But there's no way that I would be satisfied or that I would be excited about a beet burger if I was concerned about missing out on regular burgers.
And I'd be embarrassed to have the beet burger at a barbecue. That's the thing. I would not be the guy eating the beet burger. It just makes vegans seem like a miserable existence. Yeah, not good. So they recommend some ways to marinate it, and I'm sure it'd be great. Like cut up on top of a salad, or they said on pasta would be good. It just doesn't seem so good as a burger at all.
No.
I don't know. Silly article.
Mr. Jeffrey. Thus, the article was sponsored by Big Beet.
Yeah, Big Beet.
Hard pass on the beet burger. That's right, Adventure Coach.
All right. Let's get to one more here. Another kind of funny one that a little bit misunderstands vegans, but also interesting to me. This one's from motortrend.com. Pretty sure this is our first article in a year that's from Motor Trend. And the headline is "The Inconvenient Truth About Vegan Leather in Cars." The subheadline: "The alternative upholstery isn't (parentheses) always what you think it is." So I started thinking maybe that means this stuff actually isn't vegan. That like they're using some real leather in here, or there's a fake thing, and they're calling it vegan to get the eco-conscious people interested. Anyway, they're saying it's like this has been the year of vegan leather, or that maybe it's not that. Maybe just the vegan leather has become a must for premium electric cars since Tesla did it. Because I guess PETA requested that Tesla become the first cruelty-free automaker, and Teslas have offered synthetic leather seating since 2017. All Teslas have been offers. I mean, you can't get leather in a Tesla. Doug, you might know this as a car guy.
I don't. As a car guy, yeah, that's how I describe myself. I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
Okay,
but it sounds right. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, that's become the standard now in premium electric cars. Rivian, I guess, is another company that makes them. Each of their 5 interior options include perforated vegan leather seats. Polestar writes about its Microtech as a vegan-friendly leather alternative, et cetera, et cetera. Porsche, leather-free interior. So anyway, that's what's happening. All this stuff is vegan. But then this reporter picked up, they were at Continental's Tech Fest, and equipped by one of the tire company's reps caught their attention. The rep said the material, they can describe it as artificial leather, but they mentioned that they call it vegan because it sounds better. So the opposite of what we're seeing in the food world, where vegan is no longer the name of choice. Plant-based is the name of choice, because if you put vegan on there, you get people avoiding it. And we heard that, I think, with the hospital menus, or some kind of study said if you put vegan on the menu, people don't want it. You might as well just say plant-based, or don't even say that at all. Just list the ingredients and let people pick it rather than turn people off. But they're saying while synthetic leather comes off as clinical, faux leather implies a cheap simulacrum of something better, and leatherette is the material lining your grandparents' padded toilet seat. Vegan leather, though, sounds like you're saving the world. And then they let you in on the big secret here, which is that vegan leather is nothing new or close to new. And all this stuff's been made since 1915. These fake leathers. It's just now that they're calling it vegan leather, it sounds new and high tech and interesting.
I would agree with that. Synthetic leather does not sound very appealing.
You're right.
In this case, vegan leather feels like a more premium product than synthetic or faux.
It definitely does. But why is that? Why does it not invite the? I mean, maybe because if you're buying an electric car, you already are, self-selecting as someone who's not opposed to eco-friendly things. So maybe right there, that's what it is. And maybe the same thing would happen in the food world if we were only talking to people who wanted, earth-friendly stuff. Then you could say the word vegan. I don't really know. I doubt that that's true. But
you do have to wonder if, if someone, because people have strong opinions about vegans, as we saw on the New York Post yesterday. I hate vegans. It's like the comment, right? So if they saw a car that said like vegan leather, would they immediately think, "Oh, vegan, I hate vegan"?
Yeah, right. This author points out that the majority of this stuff is petroleum-derived plastic, not some miracle material made from quinoa and bean sprouts. And that means that it can be tough to recycle and isn't biodegradable like the bovine leather it's trying to emulate. So I guess this person maybe is a fan of good old regular leather. They also pointed out that one of these companies, I guess, does continue to use leather, but they're I don't know, compassionate wasn't the word, but they're conscious about the way they get it, because they get it from the beef industry, the industry that's killing the cows to begin with. They're not
waste product,
right? But I mean, if you're buying it from them, you're supporting that industry, right? They're not any better, really. I don't think at all. It just doesn't, because I'm sure if they were killing the cows just for the leather, I'm sure they'd then go sell that beef to the beef. So it's stupid, dumb thing. Yeah. So anyway, that's just kind of interesting. Another odd thing about vegan I didn't really know existed. Forgot about the car world and vegan.
Kate Rivercat has a funny joke. Quote, "Made from the skins of humanely killed vegans." That's vegan leather. And then Mr. Jeffrey says, "This is true though. Faux leather is actually worse for the environment, unfortunately," which I didn't know.
Yeah, but
if it's derived from petroleum.
But compared to, I get that those things themselves aren't going to biodegrade. But if the regular leather comes from the beef industry, I don't know. I guess if they were just killing cows directly for their leather, and it was not part of this huge food system that is atrocious for the environment, maybe then it would somehow be better than faux leather. But if it's part of that, it can't be better for the environment. If it's supporting that industry, then I just do not believe that. But what do I know? I'm not a car guy. I'm not into F1 like you are, Doug.
Oh, is that why I'm a car guy?
Yeah.
Now it makes sense. Okay. I was like, you see my card.
All right. Well, it's 11:45, so we're done. Yeah, and we're at articles, and we got to 3 articles today. How's that for a show? We had a regular weather report, we had an intro about Messi, and we talked about 3 different articles instead of the usual just one.
Yeah, so, solid episode.
Jam-packed show today.
Nice research.
It was. Plus, you shared that stats article in our Slack, I noticed, as if you had discovered it, as if you had dug up that research, and now people are giving you all this accolades for it.
I tagged you in it.
Yeah. Yeah, except you didn't say Matt Frazier found. It just says interesting stats Matt Frazier and I will be discussing on the show today.
Okay.
That's okay. I don't need the credit for that. I'm okay there, Doug. I'm just kidding. I'm glad the show can help the business. What, he's putting it now? Oh, good. So everyone can hear you typing.
I'm yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. There we go.
Perfect. Thank you. All is right.
I gave you credit.
Yeah,
All right.
Okay. We will wrap up on that note. That's it for the week. We'll be back on Tuesday. So enjoy your weekend. Soon enough, we're going to figure out what the new schedule is, because now school's back in full swing. Are both your girls in school now, Doug?
No. Preschool still hasn't started yet.
Okay.
I think next week.
All right, so we got a little more time before our summer schedule / excuse is officially done. So we got to figure out what the new plan is, whether we go back to 5 days a week or whether we change it up and do something different. I don't yet know, but we're talking about that. So we're going to figure out what we're doing, and I think it'll be good, whatever it is.
It better be.
Yeah, otherwise we wouldn't do it. Otherwise we would just keep it the same. So it'll be better. All right, but anyway, this time we're still not back till Tuesday. So enjoy your weekend, everyone. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. And that's all. Anything else, Doug?
All right. Nope, that's it. Have a good weekend, everybody. Thank you for being here.
All right, sounds good.